Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently finished The Life and Times of Phil Hartman by Mike Thomas, and I absolutely loved it. I was always a fan of Phil's, and I have to say that the comedic world really lost a beacon, because he was just so unbelievably talented, and the book talked about how he really didn't find his voice until he started impersonating Bill Clinton, because Dana Carvey had Church Lady, and of course Mike Myers had Wayne Campbell with Swing, and all these other comedians, they had their own shtick, and he just couldn't find his niche. So it talked about that, and it talked about how he painted all these different works of art for different bands, and I thought, really, he did that? That's really quite cool. He was very, very talented. He did little doodles. He created a game called Squiggles, where he and I think it was his brother, they would play that together, and they would draw pictures and then put captions above them. And his love life is extremely interesting. He had 3 wives, and I talked about how the tragedy came about when he was shot, and that's why you shouldn't do drugs, kids. I'm just telling you, it's not a good idea. But it was a very heartrending book, and I still love Phil. I mean, Phil is one of my idols. I love this man, and hopefully I could incorporate some of his humor and honor him in a good way. I'm thinking that my mom is probably hanging out with Phil. My mom, she has that kind of outer space humor, that zany humor that no one else gets. It was all very inside joke related, that only she and I would have understood, and nobody else would have gotten at the time. Phil's the same way, but he was also quite the philosopher. He was very, very deep, and I didn't know that. This reveals so many different facets about his personality that are very revealing and thought-provoking, and they give so many more dimensions to Phil as a person. And he was into I Ching and also numerology. I'm into numerology too, though I really don't do it all that much, but it is fascinating. There is a lot of truth in numerology. I really don't know what else to say about this particular book, other than I absolutely adored it, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview of the photographs. Even when he was a kid, he was funny too. So, you got the different photographs here. See, there he is, this Chick Hazard, good-looking man. And I just think that these photographs are tremendous. He worked with Paul Rubens, which I didn't know. I thought, there he is as Ed McMahon, and there he is as Bill Slick Willie. There he is as Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure. The monorail, actually, that is one of my favorite episodes of all time. A fish called Selma. There he is, and it's the Blue Genie. They're my favorite pictures of him surfing. He really liked to catch the choice waves. I thought, yeah, we got a lot in common. Although I've never really tried surfing myself. It's something I really want to do. It's on my bucket list. And I thought, Phil, you just made me realize that life is short, and laughter. 2 things make it better. Laughter and music. That's my ultimate saving grace. And he had many saving graces. He was a man that took the path of least resistance. He did not like getting involved in fights of any sort. He just wasn't the type. He was one that just wanted to be agreeable. He just wanted to be liked by people. And I thought, yeah, I'm similar. Though I'm not afraid to stand up if I have to, even though I don't like to do it. Um, it's a really fantastic book, and if you are like me and idolize this man, I would definitely recommend reading it. It's not a long book at all. It's only a few hundred pages. It's 200, 300 pages at the best. And it's very insightful and sensationally written. And Phil, he had a tragic life. He really, really did. I mean, there were a lot of things that happened to him, especially with Paul Rubens. Um, and he actually was involved with all my favorite comedians. I thought, no wonder I love this man. I mean, this man, he's been involved with all the comedians I've loved, and you know, he actually inspired a lot of these comedians. And then I was thinking about, there was one thing that it mentioned in the book. It mentioned action figure theater, and then I thought Robot Chicken. Well, maybe Seth Green was inspired, but it doesn't say that. But I kind of get the feeling that maybe Seth Green has been inspired by Mr. Hartman, and we wouldn't have Robot Chicken if it weren't for this man here. It's just, that's my theory. I don't know if any of you believe that, but it talks about that in the book. It just gives a little mention to his action figure theater. I thought, yes, this man was a genius. He had a lot of good ideas, and much like myself, he probably would have felt more comfortable in an earlier era where things were simpler. I don't know what else to say, honestly, other than this is probably one of the best autobiographies that I should say that it's, yeah, autobiography, not biography. Biographies that I've read. His autobiography means it's written by the actual person, so it'd be a biography. Sorry, I'm correcting myself as I go, but it's just really a sensational book, and it's I have happiness remembering him now rather than sadness when he first when the tragedy actually happened. And I think that his echoes, that you can still see echoes of him and different things. He was actually supposed to voice Zap Brannigan, which I didn't know. I read that, I thought, really, he was going to be Zap Brannigan? And of course, it's Billy West does that voice. And I was thinking about that. I thought, yeah. When I first saw the show, I thought, that sounds a lot like Phil. And I realized, oh, that's Billy West. And I was knocked out of my seat by that. I just thought, holy cats, he was supposed to be voiced by Hartman. But now I can hear it in the voice itself, because he had that kind of smooth quality to his tenor. And he was just a very talented man. That's all I could say. He really was, and I love him. I can't get over the fact that I love this man. I still have a crush on this man. I'm always gonna have a crush on him. I'm never gonna get over that. Let's just put it that way. I mean, he was just a pinnacle of he was an artist. He was an artist. He was a genius. He was very philosophical and deep, and he was a man who was always questioning things, and he wanted to be everybody's friend, and he drew people to him. He was very magnetic, and everybody loved him. And now I can see why. I thought, yeah, I would definitely be his friend. Probably hit on him all the time, but he would shoo me away because he was married, and he was true to his wife. He was very old fashioned in that respect. I definitely think that is honorable and admirable, and I think, yeah, we're cut from the same cloth, Mr. Hartman. But I can only aspire to his greatness. I don't know if I'll ever be so funny as he is, but or he was. I'm speaking of him in the present tense, but it's just gives me something to work toward, because I honestly I like to write comedy. Comedy's hard. I mean, it doesn't come easy for me. And I wouldn't call myself a comedian. I want to be a producer. I know I've said this time and time again in my reviews, that I really, really, really want to produce. And I've been writing a lot of different stories in my lifetime, in my existence. And I got a musical that I finished, and I'm going to be recording my songs from it. It's called Second Chance, and I'm going to be working on another one called A Musical Life. AV Bite was talking about that. They were talking about a book. I can't remember the name of the book, but I'm very interested in finding it if I can, if it's available. Well, that's it for now, everybody. Take care. God bless, and Live long and prosper. Ciao, tutti!